Good morning, guys. So today I want to talk about bouncing around from shop to shop. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a barber. At some point, it happens to so many barbers. Um, you get a job at a shop, it's going well, you've built up clientele. For some reason, barbers lose their mind once they built their clientele, and they're ready to go to another shop. You know, the owner, they don't like the treatment now. They don't like one of the barbers that just got hired, or they don't like the barber that they're working next to. They don't like the fact that the air is not cranked up high enough. You know, for whatever reason, now you decide you want to go and you want to bounce to another shop. One of the biggest mistakes that a barber can make, especially when trying to keep clientele or build clientele, is move to another shop. That's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, unless that shop is so much busier than the shop you're at now. And I'll give you my experience. My experience was when I first got started, I started in a barber shop, and from that barber shop, I moved closer to home. I was driving roughly a half an hour, and I was sharing a chair with another guy. So most of the time, that guy was like really busy, and I wasn't getting no burn. So I decided that, you know, maybe this ain't the best move for me. I'm not making any money anymore. I'm really just showing up to watch this dude cut hair. And so I had found a shop closer to home. I was working out of a salon. And in that salon, I wasn't making really any money. I was building clientele from scratch. And when I mean from scratch, I mean like just my boys. I started with just my boys. You know, I was cutting my two boys. And I was building from there. I was showing up all the time, you know, cutting nobody. My boys would just come hang out. It was like a hangout spot for a little while. And then I got a couple of clients on a Saturday. That Saturday, excuse me, the phone is ringing in the background. I'm not going to pick it up. That Saturday, I cut a few people, and that kind of got the ball rolling for me. Those women, they were coming like every 2 weeks, and now they realized they could bring their sons in to get a haircut. And they were bringing their sons in every 2 weeks just to get a haircut, and it was working out for me pretty good. And I started there, so now on Saturday I had a few clients that were coming in every 2 weeks. I was already cutting my boys throughout the week, and then throughout the week, you know, you would get some men who were like kind of straggling in, like, yo, do you guys got a barber in here? I'm there. I raised my hand, and the highest pay that I made there, I was on a 50-50 commission. The highest pay that I had ever made there was $100. And normally she was paying me for just showing up. You know what I mean? She was paying me like $25 a week, which was far less than what I was making before. But, you know, I understood that I was going to have to put some work in, and I was going to have to work hard. And so I talked to a friend of mine, and he was making pretty good money. I talked to another dude who I had taught how to cut hair, and he was making pretty good money. And I decided to leave. I didn't have any clients, so I didn't have to worry about losing any clients. I only had my two boys and those few people that were coming on Saturday. And it was a barbershop like right around the corner from where I was at, and they were like the barbershop in town. Everybody knew about them, so I went over there and I talked to one of the barbers in there. He talked to the owner. The owner said, I'll give you a job. I got a chair opening. Do you have a license? No, sir. I'm still waiting for my test, you know. My test is not until August, and I take my test in August. He said, well, I can't give you the chair until you get a license. Understood. So now I said, well, I got a job as long as I pass this test. So I started studying for this test extra hard. I was cutting hair out of my house, and I was cutting hair at the salon now. My boys were starting to bring their friends. And they would just bring them to the house to introduce me to them, and I would just cut them. And then I would veer them into the salon, and that's how I started, you know, building my little flow. My test, I passed my test. I was waiting for my license, but I passed my test. I went back to the shop. I said, listen, I passed my test. I'm just waiting for my license to come in. Can I set my stuff up? Nope, can't set your stuff up until you get that license. I never forget, I got that license on a Saturday. I had been working in the salon. At night, I was working at Sears, and I was cutting hair at the house. So I was coming home from Sears, actually, and I realized I had mail. I opened the mail up, and boom, my license was there. Man, I couldn't wait. I grabbed all my stuff, put it in a bag, boom. That Tuesday, I walked in, put my license on his station, started setting up. He was like, what are you doing? I said, you told me The day I get my license is the day I can start. The other barbers was like, you did say that. I said, that's my license on your station. Is this where I set up? I had a friend from high school that was sitting in there waiting for a haircut, who now cuts hair. He was like, you cutting hair here? And I was like, yup. I was like, I'm cutting right here. He was like, you could cut me? I was like, yup, come on. That was my first client in that barbershop. That was Tuesday. I sat all week. Saturday came around. The shop is slammed, man. This thing is, people are standing around waiting for haircuts, right? So I'm like, yo, you getting a cut? You getting a cut? You getting a cut? Everybody like, nah, we wait. And everybody. No lie. These two boys that was sitting right in front of my chair, dude was like, yo, he open. Let me get your haircut. So dude was like, no, why don't you get your haircut? He said, I ain't letting him cut me. He was like, I ain't letting him cut me. They start arguing right in front of me. My boy comes in. I'm like, thank God. He sits down in the chair. I cut him. Two dudes that was just arguing was like, yo, I'm next. Boom, come on. That started my Saturday. That Saturday, I think I made $200 and something. Just because people saw me cutting. They saw me cutting and they saw that I could cut. And I was doing stuff that at that time nobody was really doing. You know, I was pulling out the blow dryer and using spritz and all kind of stuff, and at that time nobody was really doing that. I only see maybe two barbers that were doing that, and they were not in the area that I was in, nowhere near the area. As a matter of fact, when I pulled the blow dryer out, the shop started laughing. That's how crazy it was, and I'm not exaggerating the story. The shop started laughing because I pulled out a blow dryer. They was like, this dude done pulled out a blow dryer like he think he in a hair salon. Once them shape-ups came out, it was crazy. And so I stayed there for a long time, and I ended up leaving there because of a rift between me and the owner. And really, it wasn't really between me and the owner. It was between a barber and me, and I didn't know I was having a rift, but he was feeling some type of way. I was making all this money now, I guess. I don't know. And ended up leaving there, and I was on my way back to driving a half an hour because I knew I could make money out there, you know, in the area that I started in. So I was going out there, and I was checking, you know, this one shop that was really busy. I knew the owner, and I was talking with him, and he was like, yeah, you can come get a job. And a friend of mine had just opened up a barber shop, and he asked me if I would help him. And so I kind of weighed it, and I was like, I ain't going to make as much money with this dude, but it's not far from where I'm at, so all right, I'll do it. I did that. When I got in there, it was not busy at all. And, you know, in 6 months, we were popping pretty good. And he lost his mind. He lost his mind. He started hating on me. Wait a minute. I'm here. I work for you, bro. You hating on me, and I work for you. You make money that I make. You feel me? And you make money from me. You wildin'. Once again, barbers be losing their minds. Another dude I know comes in. He's telling me about a shop he's opening. It's in a highly populated area. It was a shop before, and it was busy, but the owner, they moved or whatever. I think they moved out of state or something like that. And I thought that was a great opportunity to make even more money. And I was right. So I left to make more money. And that's kind of where I stabilized out. And I had a strong clientele base. And I was making crazy money. And I had that syndrome. The syndrome that every barber has. And that's, I'm important. And you need me. You need me. You know what I'm saying? I got all these clients coming in. I bring all this money to the shop. You need me. I'm out. I don't need to put up with some of the stuff that, you know what I mean, you got me putting up with, man. You need to, man, barbers go through it. I don't know why. This is the biggest mistake I made. I lost plenty of clients doing that. Plenty. I went back to a shop that I had already worked at, and I had lost plenty of clients. And I was still making okay money. I was still making like 50 a year, anywhere from 50 to 60 a year, which is still okay money. And man, I was there maybe 2-3 years, and I said, you know, I'm ready to open up my own. Now, opening up your own is a good thing, but even from the time that I opened up my own, I lost more clients, and I had to rebuild. And I did. I rebuilt, and I was in my own shop for a long time. We did okay, and I hired some barbers, and we ran through barbers because barbers wanted to leave for whatever reason. I had to fire barbers. We had barbers that just wasn't showing up, and one day they come get their stuff. I mean, just different things that happen with barbers. And I had one barber in particular who, for some reason, he would quit every few months, and I loved him, and and I wanted to help him, and he was a good barber, and I wanted to see him do well. So I keep letting him come back, and I try to explain to him, like, yo, you're losing clients every time you make this jump. Every time you make a jump, you're losing clients. And he's not the only barber that I know that have done that. I've had barbers come and talk to me and tell me what's going on with the shops that they at, and my advice is stay where you at. I don't know what you're dealing with, but I'm sure it ain't that bad. If they ain't taking limbs or nothing like that, and they not snatching money from you, and he ain't thieving you, stay where you at. Because where you at is where your clientele base is at. And believe it or not, just from you moving from one block to another block, you can lose clients. I mean, who knows why? It could be that those clients like the atmosphere that they're in already, and now you've moved the block over, the atmosphere is different, and now they feel like, you know what, it's not worth me going down there, I'm going to just stay where I'm at. Matter of fact, I've been watching this barber next to him cut, and he cut just as good, so I ain't even got to follow this dude. And you find out really quick that you're not as live as you think you are, because the haircut is not the most important thing. It's the rapport that you built. It's the atmosphere that you're in. That all those elements create your clientele. And when you decide to leave, you start removing some of those elements, whether it's you're looking for a different atmosphere, whether it's just the people that you're going to work with are different. You still cut the same, but if you don't have any rapport, and those barbers that you with don't have any rapport, and the other shop that you're leaving has rapport with that person, that makes a big difference, because now he knows the barber next to him cuts just as good. I still get the same atmosphere, and I keep the rapport that I have in the shop. It makes such a huge difference. It makes such a huge difference. I can't tell you how important those elements are: rapport, atmosphere, and a haircut. All of them have to work together. And when barbers start bouncing around from shop to shop to shop to shop to shop, you're going to lose at least 30%. At least 30%. And 30% doesn't, it sounds like a lot, and it really is, but if you think about it, it's 3 out of every 10 customers that you have. So if you have 150 clients, then you're talking about 30% is 45 clients. You still have 105 clients. So you still can make okay money, and then you have to rebuild and get 45 more clients. But why even go through that when you can just stay, keep your 150 clients, maybe even build on more clients, and figure out other ways to make money if money is the issue. You can sell products. There's barber competitions. There's platform barbering. There's traveling on days off, trying to build more clients on days off. There's so many different ways that you can make more money as a barber. It does not have to be specifically behind the chair. Those are things that you should look into, especially if it's about money. If you're saying that the rent is too high or whatever the case is, then you need to find other ways to make some money. It's not always leaving is the answer. If an owner decides that he wants to raise rent on you, or the percentage is about to change, it doesn't really matter, because there are other ways to make money. These are things that I didn't know as a young barber. I didn't know anything about platform barbering. I didn't know anything about barber competitions. I didn't know anything about all that stuff. And then when I learned about that stuff, I was making good money already, so I didn't need that stuff. I said, leave that for somebody else. Leave that for somebody who's more creative than I am. Leave that for somebody who wants to do designs and who wants to do crazy colors and different things like that. Leave it for them. I don't want to do that. I like being behind the chair. But that's me. That's not for everybody. Some people, they love being behind the chair, but they also love, getting to travel and do the different shows and do the different teachings and different things like that. As a matter of fact, my first hair show was when I learned about platform barbering and different things like that. I would just talk to the barbers that was cutting, and how'd you get this? And that's when I learned about it. And I learned more about barber competitions from a friend of mine who got involved, and he was winning. He was winning a lot. And he was making money winning. So I learned about that. But those things still, for me, are not for me. They're for somebody else, somebody who has a strong desire for that, but there are avenues that you can take to make money in the barbering industry without, just cutting hair. So before you decide that you want to bounce to another shop, here's the question I want you to ask yourself. Is it for more money? Are you leaving just because you want to leave? Are you leaving because you don't get along with the dude next to you? Because you're an adult. We're adults in this game. You're going to work with plenty of people that you don't like to work with. I'm sure of it. I don't have that problem, but you may. I know a lot of barbers who don't like the barber that they work next to. I personally think that's important. When you're in a shop and before you leave, decide, I personally, I have plenty of opportunity to leave. I have people talk to me all the time. Hey, you should come out where I'm at. You can make X amount of dollars. I already make X amount of dollars. But the thing for me is, I have clientele where I'm at. I like who I work with. The atmosphere is cool, and my clients have rapport with the people that I work with. So for me, it makes no sense for me to leave. As a matter of fact, especially if you're a young barber, if you watch some of the veteran barbers, they became veteran and they got the clientele they got because they stayed put. They stayed put. They didn't bounce around from shop to shop. They learned how to handle their business and talk to the owner and understand business. So the biggest mistake you can make, one of the biggest mistakes in my opinion that you can make as a barber, is from bouncing shop to shop. If you find a shop that you like and you find that you like working with the barbers that are next to you, give it your all and build that clientele. I'm telling you, you'll love it, especially if the people that you like working with stay with you. Until we talk again, guys, y'all know the routine. Peace.